get that up. Move that over. Let's put up the phone. And good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome to the afternoon experiment. Trying to turn down just a little bit more. Welcome to the afternoon experiment. Emanuel Livingston with you. Short show today. Because I got a lot of stuff that I have to take care of, to get out of town. I don't know why I promised today. I should have known that I was going to have so much stuff to take care of. Before you go out of town, you just certain stuff you got to do, and I have to do that stuff. So yeah, short show today. But thank you guys for coming in. Robert, Maria, LaDonna, McConnell. Thank you guys for coming in. Hold on here. I gotta make a little adjustment here. I see stuff I don't like. I have to fix it. And we're gonna move you over there. We're gonna move you here. And gonna go there. Okay, that should do it. So yes, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. I want to talk a little bit about this PG Sittenfeld trial. They say that the closing arguments are underway. And look, I have to tell you, I didn't follow it. Like, I'm sure they've been doing daily updates, and I haven't really been following the trial. I like PG. PG was always nice and respectful. Well, kind of respectful. No, he was respectful. He teased me a lot, and I teased him, and so he was always nice and respectful. And I really don't want to see the man go to jail, but this don't look good for PG. I'm reading. He testified, which, I guess he figured, I'm PG, and if I just explain everything, I can explain this stuff away, and it won't be a big deal. But I'm looking at some of the quotes, some of the things that he apparently said while on the stand, and it don't look good for PG. It don't look good. Like, and I understand what he's saying. I understand what he means, but wow, it don't look good for PG. It don't look good. Now I'm not hold on, let me say hi to the people. I gotta say hi to the people. Tony, Quintano, Erica, Miss Lucky Charm, Anthony, TC, Diane, Tria, Keisha. I think I said Tony already. Carol, John, Brent, Brenda. Good afternoon to all of you, Spencer, and I think I said Diane, but if I didn't, Diane. D, what's up? What's up? Angela. Dwayne, good afternoon. I saw you, Tony. I'll get to that in a minute. Brenda Harris says hi. Just so Brenda Harris is a hater, but that's okay. Haters are welcome here. Nat, good afternoon. Hi, Brenda. Oh, Ben, good afternoon. Yeah, if you're checking me out, just drop a hi, deuces, something, just my mama told me, even though I really never listen. You don't walk in the room. And not say hi to people. So come on into the room and say hi. Jack. Okay, now somebody said, well, what did he say? What did he say? I'm gonna just read. This is from WCPO. WCPO. They say he took the case. He took the case. I mean, took the stand, not took the case. But I'm gonna read some of the stuff that he said. Hold on, let me get to the stuff. He explained that when he said I can deliver the votes on a secret recording, he meant that it was just, he said it was just me expressing my confidence. They talked about his relationship with Ndukwe, of course, him being a informant. He says, I trusted him as a person. I trusted him as a friend. He took his credibility and his trust and he conferred it on them, talking about the FBI. Talking about what he was told about this project that they're saying he took this money to support. He said, to me, all the pieces were in place. He said, I did not know this was a fiction from the FBI. Okay, that makes sense. I mean, if they concoct this whole story and bring it to you and you believe it to be so, that's reasonable. That's logical. He says, and talking about selling votes, he says, I never did, under any circumstances, sell my vote or trade my vote for a campaign donation. It's all stuff that you would think that he would say. Say U.S. Attorney Matt Singer led Sittenfeld through an intense 2 hours of cross-examination. He asked him to read the transcripts of what he said to the FBI on multiple secret recordings and explain himself. Says this is the second time in 5 days that you were offered a very express $20,000 to get a deal done. Why did you still meet with him? And PG says, that's not what I understood. I didn't understand him to be offering money for votes. So he's kind of playing, I didn't know. I didn't know that was what was happening. I thought this was an above. So far, not bad, not bad. Sittenfeld testified that he thought he cleared up that he would not take a quid pro quo while on an earlier call with Ndukwe, but still met with the FBI, who were promising campaign donations because he was generally pro-donation. His explanation for this taped exchange was that he was making a bad joke. Here's the exchange. Where do you guys find these LLCs? Do I want to know? That's what Sittenfeld asked. And the undercover agent said, yeah, you probably don't. And then PG says, as long as it passes muster and like a person with a name. His explanation for this taped exchange was that he was making a bad joke about an undercover agent known as Vinny. Yeah, Vinny came up, who supposedly had past ties to organized crime. This is the exchange. Talking about Vinny. Sittenfeld asks, is he like a mafia type? And the undercover agent says, I'm going to say yes. And then PG Sittenfeld says, by the way, I don't really care. I don't really care. That's terrible. That's terrible. You're asking, is this dude, like they've told you he's got ties with organized crime. And you say, Vinny, is he a mafia type? And they say, yeah. And you say, oh, by the way, I don't really care. I don't really care. That don't look good for you, PG. That does not look good for you. It just doesn't. There's more. There's a little bit more. They asked him to explain why he accepted an 18-year-old, is that Macallan Scotch? Y'all know I don't know that stuff. And a box of cigars worth $482 from undercover agents, but failed to report it as a gift on campaign filings. He says, I never smoked a cigar in my life, and I don't drink Scotch. So he said he didn't know the gifts were worth more than $70 or $75, which is the legal limit for disclosing. He says they were deceptively using a celebration of fatherhood and being a dad. I thought this was a moment of human kindness. They talked a little bit about him suggesting to the FBI that they who wanted to keep their name secrets that they could donate to his PAC instead of his campaign fund. Says, I do have a PAC that no one knows, no one's like snooping around. His PAC was shielded from, quote, the weird quirkiness of journalists who like to review who makes campaign donations to political leaders. That's bad. That's bad. That's why you're supposed to be able to review who's making campaign donations to political leaders. That's why this quirky journalist thing exists. Just some of this stuff makes PG look super shady. Even if you look at it and you say, he didn't break the law. Even if you buy into the Chris Steelbach, because Chris Steelbach also testified, and he says, look, that stuff happens. That stuff happens. It's legal and it happens. I think some of this stuff is the spirit of the thing, which even if he's not, like I said, guilty of breaking the law, he's guilty of breaking the spirit of the law. If you're creating secret PACs so that journalists and other interested parties can't trace down who's donating money to you, that's against the spirit of the reason why you're supposed to file all of these campaign contribution records and all of that kind of stuff, so that people can see who's donating to you. That's the reason for all of that. And if you like, well, I mean, I just didn't want people to see who was donating to me because people knows it. That's not good. His PAC was shielded from the weird quirkiness of journalists who like to review who makes campaign donations to political leaders. Bruh, that's the spirit of the whole thing. That's why you got to put on your campaign finance. Well, that's why we even have campaign finance reports, so that the people can see who donate money. Yes, so that we can determine who you may or may not be beholden to. So yeah, if you get a whole lot of money from this guy or this group and you just keep voting for their interests, we can see that. That's the whole purpose. So if you create a PAC to make sure that we can't see that, that's against the spirit of the law. So they're doing their closing arguments now. I don't know the law well enough in terms of what they're accusing him of. And of course, I didn't see all of the evidence that they have. But oh my goodness. Huh? Okay. Go get water. Be careful going up the stairs. All right. So yeah, it don't look good just based on, because he looks, based on that testimony, he just looks shady. And so if you're in there as a juror and you're hearing this, I'm sure that the prosecution is going to explain the spirit of the law as well as the letter of the law. And so if you're like, you can explain away kind of the letter of the law and such, you know, hey, I didn't know. I didn't know that this was all made up. They made it up. If I would have known that this was made up and that I was talking to FBI agents, I would have never accepted $20,000. But when has that ever been a defense? When has that ever been a defense? Like in my mind, I imagine if you doing something illegal, buying counterfeit, whatever, and it's an FBI sting, and you like, hey, people always buying counterfeit stuff. And nothing wrong with buying counterfeit stuff. If I would have known that this was a sting, I wouldn't have bought the counterfeit stuff. In my mind, that will not get you off in court. I didn't know that this whole thing was made up. I was functioning under the premise that this was a real deal. And then I just got $40,000 to support a real deal. I didn't know that this was the FBI setting me up. If I would have knew that the FBI was setting me up, of course I wouldn't have taken the $40,000. Come on. And I understand what he's saying. I understand what he's saying. I get it. You need help opening it or you got it?
I don't want it yet.
Okay. All right. D says entrapment. I think that kind of that's partly what he arguing, but I don't know that it's entrapment because he had it's not entrapment if you would have done it anyway. If a police officer poses as a drug dealer and sells you drugs, they don't force you to buy the drugs or anything. They don't force you to buy the drugs. I don't know that you can say entrapment. Look, I imagine it's a difficult thing to do. You're a politician. You want that money. There's certain things. I mean, y'all know how the politics game work. You get that money. It allows you to have more things accessible. You can buy more ads. You can, you can do a lot more with more money. But I don't know the argument that if I would have knew, if I would have knew that this was the FBI, I wouldn't have took that $40,000. If I would have knew that, they tricked me. Oh, I don't know, PG. It don't look good. Tony says, but an undercover cop has to tell you he's a cop if the person being investigated asks. I don't know where you got that from. That is not true. That is 100% not true. People actually believe that to be the case, but that's not true. If that was the case, what would be the purpose of being an undercover cop? I mean, think about it, Tony. If every time everybody dealt with an undercover cop, if the law truly was, if that person is a cop, they have to tell you that they're a cop. We would all know that to be the law, even though a lot of people believe that to be the law. We would all know it to be the law. And I would ask everybody who I deal with, by the way, are you an undercover cop? If I'm dealing in the criminal world, that's what I would ask everybody. Are you a cop? And then the undercover cop would have to be like, yeah, I'm a cop. That would put their lives in danger. There is no such law or rule. That's not true. That is, Lewis is saying, yes, it is. Y'all gonna get hemmed up believing that. That is not true. Undercover cops do not have to reveal that they are undercover cops if somebody that they are investigating asks them if they're a cop. That's not true. Yeah, that's Hollywood stuff. People believe that because of the movie. Brenda says, I heard you're supposed to say yes or no if you the po-po. Oh, I can't believe y'all believe that. Y'all gonna get yourselves messed up. Exactly, McConnell. That's some TV stuff. Angela, that's some Hollywood stuff. People believe it because they see it in the movies. Yeah, cops would be dead everywhere. Everywhere. Police never tell the truth. No, the undercover cops do not have to tell you. If you get nothing else from this short show today, understand undercover cops do not have to tell you that they are cops if you ask. They don't. That would totally uh, mess up the idea of being an undercover cop. You're not the police, are you? Yeah. But now I don't want no drugs. You're not the police, are you? Yes. But now I don't want no head. You know what I'm saying? What? What? She doesn't know what that means. So yeah, no, you don't have, they don't have to tell you that. If you get nothing else, if you get nothing else from this, they don't have to tell you that they're undercover cops. Just imagine, I'm imagining now some TV stuff. And this dude who they think is an undercover cop is surrounded by dudes with guns pointed at him. And they say, "Are you the police?" I don't know what kind of accent that was. "Are you the police?" And he says, "Yes, I'm the police." Because he has no choice. And and now he just all shot up. Uh, who says that? Anybody, anybody who says, who would ask an undercover law enforcement official posing as a prostitute or something like that. And then that person says, "Yeah, I'm an undercover cop." No, I didn't want that anyway. Oh boy. Oh, Lewis says, I was saying, yes, it's a stretch to call it entrapment. Okay. Law enforcement officers are trained liars. They do not have to tell you the truth. That's why they can separate y'all and put y'all in different rooms and tell you, well, your friend over there is making a deal right now. He told us the whole story. He told us how you was the one who went into the house. He told us how you was the one who had the gun. He told us how you was the one, and then you be like, "No, he had the gun. We both went in the house, but he the one who had the gun." Oh, well, that ain't what he's saying. And he over there like, I want to talk to a lawyer. I'm not saying anything. But they over there lying to you about what he's saying because they don't have to tell you the truth. They don't have to tell you the truth. Just so y'all know that. I never thought about that, but now I feel stupid believing if you ask them, a cop has to say they're a cop. And not just you. A lot of people believe that. A lot of people believe that. I've heard it. And I was like, no, that's not true. But yeah, no, PG is not looking good for PG. Even if he says, if I would have known they were the FBI, I wouldn't have did it. Even if he says, which again, that's not good testimony. If he says, "Hey, this happens all the time. This is the way, basically, it's the way business is done," that still don't look good on you. Yeah, none of that stuff. None of that stuff. And hey, is Vinny a mafia type? And then they like, yes, he is. And you like, oh, well, I, I don't really care. That don't look good for you. That don't look good for you. On a Randall, Wyatt says, once you ask for an attorney, all questioning and comments must end. Now, I had to ask this because I've seen a lot of actual footage of police interrogations. And once you ask for an attorney, I know that they're not supposed to ask you any more questions, but they always make further comments. So are you saying, like, and I'm asking genuinely in terms of the law, I get that once you ask for an attorney, all questions must end, but they always got something to say about it. They never just, I want an attorney. Oh, okay. And leave. They always got something to say. All right, you're digging your own grave. All right. Well, you know that when you get an attorney, anything that I could have done to help you is off the table. Well, all right. They always have more to say once you ask for an attorney. There's always comments behind it. Why PG asking, was that person mafia, makes him shady? Him asking, well, here is in terms of the way everything goes down according to WCPO and what they're saying. If there is, if the FBI is leading you to believe that there is a mafia type involved with this donation, and you're asking them, like, is he actually involved with organized crime? That means you believe it's possible. And you're asking, and then they tell you, well, yes, he is. And your response is, oh, by the way, I don't really care. That's shady. As a politician, no, you are not supposed to be dealing with people who are involved in organized crime, who's a quote unquote mafia type. And the fact that you ask, is he a mafia type, means you understand that that's a bad thing. And then when they tell you yes, and you say, oh, I don't really care anyway. Yes, that is shady. That is shady. Just asking don't necessarily make it shady. Asking don't necessarily make it shady. Like, hold on, Vinny, and the stuff y'all saying, is he a mafia type? No, he ain't no mafia type. Okay, whoo, I was worried there. Then you don't seem shady there. You actually seem like, you're trying to do the right thing. I don't want to get mixed up with no mafia types. You seem like you're doing the right thing. But if you say, okay, is he one of those mafia types? And they like, as a matter of fact, he is. And you're like, okay, I don't care. I really don't care about that. When am I going to get that check? That's shady. That's shady. Wyan says he just tuned in. Did you tell the folk PG made zoning promises to the undercovers as well? No, I didn't, because I didn't know that. Again, I said I didn't really follow it, but he took the stand. And they have on WCPO.com. And hold on, I got to give credit to who wrote this story. Paula Christian, got to give credit. Paula Christian wrote this story, and she lays out some of the testimony. And all I'm saying right now is the stuff that she reported in her testimony makes PG seem, if not guilty, shady. Definitely shady. And I could see how, even if a juror looked at it and said, maybe he didn't know. And, maybe he thought this stuff, he wasn't doing a quid pro quo. But some of the stuff, he knew something wasn't above board. And they might find him guilty because of that. It's always something that you really have to consider when you're talking about taking the stand. When you're talking about taking the stand, you really got stuff to consider. How are you going to come off? If you come off, I always perceive if you come off as too polished, that's not good. If you come off as shaky, that's not good. Like in my mind, there's a middle ground of some sort. And I feel like he didn't hit the middle ground, but I wasn't there. I'm just going off of one story that I read. I wasn't there. So it's possible that what he did was amazing and he swayed some jurors. It's possible. Doc Covington, who I have a question about who that person is, says Emanuel Livingston is also a great liar one. I'm going to just tell you the misspellings and adding little stuff that look like some other comments that I've seen from like not real profiles. I'm just saying. Look, if you gonna do a fake profile and try to fool people into believing that you are not who you are, you kind of have to not make the same mistakes that you make in all your other fake profiles. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Oh. But had he known that he was gonna get caught, then maybe he wouldn't have. I didn't know that this was a trap. Otherwise, I wouldn't have fell for it. That's my defense. Hopefully, I never get trapped. But if I do, I think I'm gonna use that as a defense. This was entrapment. Because had I known that this was the undercover FBI, I would have never took that $40,000 in that scotch. Oh, and it's possible. Look, it's people like me who think that we can say little stuff to get us out of trouble. It's a fly flying around in here. How'd a fly get in?
I don't know.
Did you let the fly in?
I didn't open the windows.
Okay. But if you out there and you are getting trapped into something, that's not the best. That's not the best policy. It's not the best argument. 513-717-5464. That's the number to get on board. 717-5464. And we are working on the grandfather thing. We are working on the grandfather thing, right? Yeah. What's wrong with PG accepting the scotch? I can't say that there's necessarily anything wrong with him accepting the scotch, but if campaign finance rules say, hey, if you get a gift over a certain value, you have to report that. If the gift is over, like, there's nothing wrong with you accepting a cigar. But if that cigar is I think what PG says $75. If it anything over $75, you got to report. If it's over $75, you got to report it. And apparently the cigars and the scotch was worth what, 400? What was it? Let me get to the $482. $482. Now, PG, his explanation for that was, I never smoked a cigar in my life, and I don't drink scotch. So I didn't know the gifts was worth more than $75, which is the legal limit for not disclosing them. Haven't we been told forever? I've seen it on TV. I've heard law enforcement say it. I've heard judges say it. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. Well, he knew the law, but ignorance of the value of the gift kind of sounds like no excuse either. And please don't get me wrong. I'm not rooting for anything bad to happen to PG Sittenfeld. Like I said it before, I actually like PG Sittenfeld. He's never been anything but respectful and kind and all of that stuff to me. Never. I'm just looking at what I'm reading and it don't look good. And all I would ask is that we surround Lincoln Ware with love and attention. Because if PG is found guilty and gets sent to jail, I'm not sure what he might do to himself. PG met with undercover agents numerous times at their penthouse in downtown Cincinnati, making plans on how to avoid contribution rules. Y'all know I won't say we all, but a lot of us play these games. This is nowhere near the same, but I play these games even with Facebook. You want to say something about somebody, but you don't want to get tagged. And so you say it kind of in a general way, but they know who you're talking about. Everybody else know who you're talking about. Oh, hold on, I got a call coming in. Key?
Hey, what's going on, Emmanuel? How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
All right. You said you paused for me. You said like you weren't for sure.
No, I was looking around at my settings and making sure that everything was all right.
Okay, well check it out real quick. Make sure everything look good.
So what's on your mind?
Oh, nothing much. Just calling to support and seeing what's going on. And I also was calling too, like at my job, we have to take tests like every year about like certain stuff like that, like about like bribery stuff and accepting gifts and just like stuff like that. So it's weird like that they don't have to take any kind of testing so they can know like what to do and what not to do. Because every year at my job we have to take tests and they give different scenarios and we have to answer them. And then if we fail the test, we have to take like some kind of class if we don't know the answers to certain stuff. So it's just weird that they don't have any kind of like training or testing for them, like to learn what not to do
But
in situations like that.
he knew. He knew what
Oh,
not to do.
okay.
Like
So he trying to play it off like he didn't know.
no, he's the one who he's trying to play it off in terms of like this scotch and this cigars. He's saying he understands that he has to disclose those gifts if they're more than $75. So he knows what the law is. What he's saying is, I didn't know that this scotch and these cigars was worth more than $75. I had no idea that they were worth $482.
Yeah, and then like you were saying, like if he don't do either one of those, then why would you even take them? If you don't smoke or drink scotch, well, why even take any of that stuff? Which is weird. You know what I mean?
It is a little, but look, that I understand. If Because I'm gonna guess this was about the time that he actually became a father. And so if you like, hey, my son was born or my wife is
yeah,
pregnant or
yeah.
whatever, and they're like, well, here are some cigars, congratulations, and some scotch. You might be like, okay, I'll take it. You don't want to necessarily be offensive to Vinny, who
Right,
may or
saying
may
rude
not
or whatever.
be involved in the mafia.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, that's crazy. But yeah, I was just calling to ask that and see like what was really the scenario behind that. And then I also was gonna say like to yesterday when somebody was asking like, do you get paid for what you're doing and everything else or whatever? Like a way that people like how I always keep saying when I call, just like for the YouTube aspect, I don't know about Facebook. Make sure you all subscribe to his channel to get his subscription up. Make sure you view the videos. You also can watch the videos daily to get the numbers up. And then that way, this YouTube channel can make money or whatever. So it support him to keep going and going,
All
you know?
right. Yeah. Yeah.
So
What
just
Key
letting
said,
everybody
y'all.
know that. So just to reiterate, go ahead and subscribe, everybody that's listening that asked that question. View his videos and then tell everybody about him so this channel can get monetized and then he can make money on this channel
There you go. That's
and
what
he
I'm
can
talking
keep
about.
going
There you
or
go.
whatever. Okay, and then one more thing. You ain't going to be here tomorrow, Friday,
Uh-huh.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, right?
Correct.
Okay. Did you ever disclose why are you going and where you going? Or if not, don't worry about it. I was just wondering, did you ever say, because I didn't know if you said like why you were going out of town.
No, I didn't say. For me, I'm just going out of town. It's a business trip for Mrs. Livingston. And
And say, why not tag along and have a
yeah,
vacation?
for
Ain't nothing
me,
wrong with it.
I'm just gonna be kicking it. So
Right, ain't nothing wrong with it. Y'all stay cool though and be safe and see you when you get back.
all right. Thank you,
Alrighty.
Key. Have a
Enjoy
wonderful day.
All right, you enjoy the rest of yours.
All right. That's Key. Yeah, everything Key said. Yeah. Um, let's see. Janice says they are given rules that they must abide by. Jericho wants to know, where are you going? Away. Now I think what we're going like to Arizona. We're going to a nice fancy spot in Arizona. I remember I was complaining about a $600 a night spot. Well, apparently it's not $600 a night for us because it's a business thing. Like, hey, you can't beat that. I'm gonna be out there playing golf. I'm just lying. I ain't never swung a golf. Well, that's not true. I swung a golf club at playing putt putt, but I've never played golf. You never know. I might try some golf. It's there's a few golf courses at this resort, and get a good massage. No happy endings. No happy endings. But I don't want to be on trial somewhere talking about it. If I would have known that this was an undercover cop, I wouldn't have let him do that. So no happy endings. You never know. I might do a whole lot of things. I'm gonna be out there having fun, watching out for rattlesnakes. Watching out for rattlesnakes. That's my only concern. It's the desert, man. It's the desert. Download what game? You got like 100 games on there. Let me see. What am I downloading? This one?
Yes.
Let's see.
Do it cost money?
Do it cost money? If it costs money, I'm not downloading it. Oh, the battery is low. You better plug the charger in. Sorry, y'all, I got to do this.
Here.
Don't hear me. You plug it in. I don't want it. So when I give it to you, then you plug it in. There you go.
It don't cost money.
It don't cost money. uh, that's right. We gonna be looking wealthy doing rich people stuff at a discount. I'm all about a discount. Wyatt says PG spent $1 million on his defense. Hold on. It probably would be. It's there. It's waiting on it. You know how that works. If I had $1 million and I was facing some federal time, if I had $1 million and I was facing what? Then I would spend $1 million on my defense too. Go ahead, play some holes of golf or the driving range. Very comfortable. Again, I've never actually hit a golf ball other than putt-putt. Who the hell says they don't want a happy ending? People who don't want to go to jail. People who don't want to go to jail. Oh. Now, little baby be here with her mama, house sitting. You ain't moving fast enough. Oh. See, I just got back from a family reunion in Valdosta, Georgia, by the Florida line. It was 96 degrees in the shade at 9 a.m. in the country. Now I looked at the forecast. It's like supposed to get up to like 110 degrees or something like that, virtually all week. No rain, no clouds, just hot. But the humidity is supposed to be super low. The humidity is supposed to be super low. I can get with that. I don't mind the heat. I really don't. Told y'all, I keep the air off as long as Mrs. Livingston can bear it. So I'm gonna be cool. I'm gonna be out. She gonna be in her little meetings and her little conferences and all that stuff. And I'm gonna be chilling at the swimming pool. I'm gonna be, whatever. I'm not concerned about it. Stay hydrated. Okay. I'll stay hydrated. And I don't drink alcohol or nothing like that. So I don't worry about that type stuff. But yeah, no, that's it. We gonna just be out. I'm gonna be out kicking it. She gonna be out working. You can't beat that. You can't beat that. That low humidity in Arizona is deceiving. Make sure you're drinking plenty of cucumber and quinoa infused water. Nah, I'll just be drinking some regular water. Just some regular water. I'm not going to jail for that. I'm not going to jail for that. At the swimming pool, looking at the honeys. Well, what I was reading, the resort that we're going to, it ain't really gonna be probably no honeys there. They were saying that like the median age of the people who go to this particular resort was like 70 something years old. It's a resort apparently where old people go, but there's a lot to do. They like to play golf. They like to, get massages. They like to do the spa. They like to do all of that kind of stuff. So I will probably not be checking out no honeys. This is not like a typical family resort. It really, my understanding, it's a much more high-end resort. It's not somewhere where you would want to take your kids. I mean, unless you like really wealthy or something like that. Maybe Wyatt would, do something like that. Do you like nut milk? I don't like the way that sounds. So my answer, H, no, I don't like no nut milk. That sounds terrible. Pickleball. Yes, there's probably gonna be some pickleball playing where I'm going. You showed me that last time. Why are you the only black show covering the PG trial? Because PG was a nice dude, and a lot of these talk show hosts really like PG, and see, this is how, Wyatt, and this is why we're gonna have issues. I like PG, But if PG is saying he don't care if Vinny is in the mafia, he still want that money, I got issues with that. And I'll say that. In spite of the fact that I like PG. In spite of the fact that I like PG, I'll still say that. Whereas other people, this is how they get their guess. Because they won't say, hold on, bruh, you said you didn't care if Vinny was in the mafia. You still wanted that money because that's their friend. So those people are much more comfortable going on those shows. And that's why they always got guests. Because they know that they got cover. And I never learned that. I never learned that. So I will talk about PG even though it seems negative. And I will say, oh, that seems negative. Whereas other people won't, because, you know, he might beat the case and then he come on their show. There's a really good chance he wouldn't come on this show. Because he know if he come on this show, I'm going to say, because if he did, if he beat this case, I'm going to call him and ask him, will you come on my show? And he's got to know that one of the questions that I'm going to ask him is about Vinny. PG, why would you tell them that you don't care if Vinny is in the mafia? Why would you say that? Why would you take money from Vinny even if he is in the mafia? Don't you think that that make you, at the very least, seem shady, unethical? Like somebody that we don't want representing us. And then let him answer the question. So yeah, that's why. That's why. Because if he beat this case, and he's still their friend, and he still come on their show. I don't operate like that. Like y'all know, well, those of you who do know, when Tamaya was going through what she was going through, you know, I read the from the indictment, we did a whole reenactment. That don't mean I supported Tamaya. I still support Tamaya. But I had to, you know, I had to do it. I had to do it. Because the people deserve to know what was going on. So I had to do it. But now I saw Tamaya not too long ago. And she's looking good and she seems happy. And I'm happy for her. I'm happy for her. And, you know, she didn't seem to hold that whole reenactment against me. And I appreciate it. And I appreciate it. But whether or not she would come on the show, I don't know. I didn't even ask. Because, you know, in the environment that we met, I felt like that was a little bit inappropriate. But, yeah, that's why. That's why. Let's see. PG was not for the black community. He was using those guys who aren't talking about him now. I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about that. Did you say nut milk? Somebody asked me if I like nut milk. And I said no. I don't like the way nut milk sounds. I don't want any nut milk. So yes, I did say nut milk because somebody else said nut milk. Hold on, there was something else I saw on here. Hold on, keep going. I'm going through the comments. Unsweetened chocolate almond milk. Yeah, I don't really mess with none of that stuff. Your reenactment of Tamaya's transcript was hilarious. Yeah, got to give credit to the actors themselves. Because we just read the transcript. That was it. We didn't add anything to it. We didn't take anything away from it. We just read the transcript. He should have known by the name. It was a setup. If Vinny do sound like a fake mafia name, like, you know, who Vinny. But I will say this. I can say PG is a corny dude. And so I could see PG asking in his kind of corny PG way. And when I say corny, I mean like his humor is corny humor. And so I could, when he says I was just making a bad joke, he probably was, because that's his humor. So wait a minute. There's this guy named Vinny. Vinny wouldn't be a mafia type, would he? Well, yes, he is. You know, the initial question was probably just PG using corny PG humor because of the stereotypical Vinny and the, you know, organized crime thing. So that was probably genuinely just PG trying to be funny. PG trying to be funny. But then once they said, well, yes, he is. And you're like, well, I don't really care. that changes it from corny PG joke to I don't really care. PG gets found guilty. How much time you think he gonna get? You think he gonna pass out in court? No, he ain't gonna pass out in court. I have no idea how much time he's facing. I don't remember how much time he's facing. So I don't know. I have no take on this in terms of whether or not PG's actually gonna be found guilty and if he's gonna do any jail time. Like I said, I haven't really been following it. I know it's been going on. Closing statements are happening, probably even right now, still possibly, and we'll see what happens. I don't want to see PG go to jail again. I like PG. Like I'll be honest about everything. Like if I like you, I like you. If I don't like you, I don't like you. And I got no beef with PG Sittenfeld. I leave for 2 minutes and you saying nut milk. Somebody else said nut milk. Somebody else. PG showing up to court with his wife, who's a doctor, and his grandmother. Can you say hung jury? Hey, that makes sense to me. That makes sense to me. I got an aunt, Hattie Pearl Willis, who I need to call today. When I get off the air, hey, remind me to call Aunt Hattie. Okay? All right. She is, well, Aunt Hattie is like 87, 89 or something like that now. She might even be in her 90s. If I'm going to trial, I'm bringing all my elderly aunts and anybody else I could think of. So I'm not blaming him for that. You do whatever you can do to win over, a juror or two. Got his funny ass caught right up. Oh, he do, but I'm just because I'm trying to be, honest with y'all. PG tells a lot of corny jokes. He asks a lot of corny stuff. And again, I'm not saying corny as an insult. It's just, that kind of corny humor. That's what he does. And so I could easily see that being what he was doing. Got the naked people keep spamming the YouTube page. I'm blocking them, y'all, every time they pop up. But y'all know they make a different one. Like this is nakedhd.xyz. The next one will be nakedhd.vyz. And then the next one will be naked. So I can't preemptively block them. I just got to wait until they do their nasty stuff and then block them. So Don't want to know what is nut milk. I don't know. I just didn't like the way it sounded, so I know I don't like it. Hold on. Nat says, I'm still mad at those Tracy Hunter black jurors. Same here. Would you bring Garrison to court? White people humor. Somebody say, so you and Lincoln work for PG. That don't even make sense. That don't make sense. Like, make it make sense. Make it make sense. Who is the old lady with PG that always looked like she has trouble walking? Hold on, y'all. I had to clear my throat. Okay. And how she gonna use it? How he gonna use a handicapped person for sympathy? I would say what you want to say. I would. Whatever is gonna help me, I would. Would you have Miss Nettie in the court with you? No. Have you tried turning on subscriber only mode? It helps block some bots. Well, but no, I haven't, because I'm not necessarily concerned about the bots. I just block them when they come up. And I don't have a whole lot of subscribers, so it would be like 4 people allowed to see it on YouTube, huh?
Your phone is on 2%.
Then plug it in. I told you to plug it in earlier. No. Whenever you clear your throat, you have to say rest in peace, Gleno. And someone says nut milk is a super nutritious drink. You drink it. You drink it. Roddy says, what's up? What's up? Tanika. Oh, my bad. Who you yelling at? And thank you, Tanika, for reporting them. They just hit the current live stream. What else was it that I wanted to talk about? There was something else that I wanted to talk about. Oh, and it be slipping my mind. I really have to start writing this stuff down. Like doing this show like I used to do my show, except having little babies next to me. What are you trying to show me? Why are you showing me that? I'm not downloading nothing else. Play what you got, and then maybe later we'll talk about downloading something else. If you know, then why you keep asking? What the hell is nut milk? I don't know. What else was it? There was something else I wanted to. Oh, the picture of the dude in the at the parade shooting, the one who dressed up as a woman. I couldn't believe when Lincoln was like, he actually looked like a woman. And I'm like, what? That I don't know what kind of women Lincoln be checking out, but he didn't look like no woman to me. He didn't look like a woman to me. I don't know. I don't know. Hold on, let's do this. Why you not downloading nothing else? We'll talk about that later. Yeah, no, not download nothing else. I don't know what nut milk is. Yeah, he definitely didn't look like a woman. Definitely didn't look like a woman. But Lincoln, he looked like a woman. I'm like, no, he didn't. yo, what I know is that what it was when you was supposed to be able to spot gay people was gaydar. What is it when it should be relatively easy to spot a dude in women's clothes? It's not gaydar. What is that? Your trans awareness or cross dressing? I don't know what you call it, but whatever you call it, his is off. His is off. Because I would have been like, ain't nowhere in the world that dude, ain't no way. But Lincoln thought it was a woman. Lincoln thought it was a woman. I mean, I guess I ain't mad at him. I ain't mad at him. I wouldn't have fell for it. You're going to go with gaydar. I wouldn't have fell for it. I wouldn't have fell for it. Who did not look like a woman to you? Wendy Williams. I'm still not convinced that Wendy Williams is a woman. I'm still not convinced of that. Show the picture. Hold on. Let me see if I can find the picture. Hopefully nothing crazy happens like it happened yesterday when I tried to pull up something. What was that? Highland Park shooter. Dressed as a woman. Let's see if I can just find an image for y'all. Oh, they don't have no just regular image of him. Hold on. Highland Park. See if I can. Hold on. I know I gotta go through all of these changes. I gotta go through all of these changes to do this. Let's do this. No, I don't want to. I can't see that. Hold on. No, thank you. Move you over here. And let's blow you up. That's the Highland Park shooter. It won't play for whatever reason. But that's the Highland Park shooter dressed up as a woman. He's a person of interest, but the evidence is mounting. He's been charged. He's been charged with murder. Lincoln thought that was a woman. Oh, that's hilarious. In a bad way. It's hilarious in a bad way. Man, Lincoln thought that was a woman. Lincoln would be mad if he get a happy ending, and then he'd be mad, mad later on. That's terrible. That is terrible. Oh, yeah, that's terrible. Oh. I was convinced Wendy Williams is a woman. I saw her a few times on an episode of Martin, and her name was also mentioned in that episode. Okay. But I could see Here's what I'll maybe this is what Lincoln Ware was trying to say. Maybe this is what Lincoln Ware was trying to say. In a mad scramble, after you done did all of that shooting and people running around trying to get away, and then you put on that, people ain't really paying attention. And so maybe in that way, you could blend in. Maybe. Maybe. You be talking, man. No, no. Oh, if that person was a massage therapist, Lincoln would ask for a happy ending, and then later on he'd find out that that was a man, and he'd be mad. Oh, yes, that's what I told him. He's been watching too much P Valley, apparently. He'd be mad as hell. Oh, it'd be heated. But it'd be too late. It'd be too late. But yeah, no, they've charged him with murder. They have charged him with murder. So, that's good. That's good. And they say he planned not just this one, but he planned on doing other ones. They say he planned on doing other shootings. And people will say, like, oh, you gotta be sick to do something like that. I don't necessarily think that that's some sort of a mental illness. That's just being a bad person. And being a bad person is not necessarily having a mental illness. How are you going to be saying happy endings in front of the little baby? It died?
Yeah.
I told you to plug it in.
I did.
Mom, you got to hold it a certain way. Hold on, let's see. Yeah, there we go.
It's dead.
It is dead now, so now you got to wait. It'll come back on in a minute. You're going upstairs now that you can't use the phone.
No.
You can't go upstairs by yourself.
No.
So I can't, you're going to hit that and then it ain't going to be charging no more.
Are you going to come upstairs with me?
I'm going to come upstairs in a few minutes. Let's give me 10 minutes. 17 minutes. 2:30. It is 2:13 right now. 17 minutes. All right? Yes. 17 minutes. We can go upstairs. Huh? 10 minutes? Yeah. Okay. 10 minutes. Count them off, though. You got to count them off.
Count them down?
Yeah, you got to count them down.
I know, that's what I
Oh.
said.
Now that the phone ain't working and she can't be on YouTube, she ready to leave. But it's just the two of us and she can't go upstairs all by herself. She's 4. She's 4.
No, I'm hot.
You hot?
Yes.
It is kind of warm down here. I need to turn on the air conditioner down here. I'm not going to do it right now, but
Okay.
but randomly killing people don't make you have some sort of a mental illness. That's not a mental illness. That's just a decision that you making to be a bad human. And again, being a bad human is not necessarily a mental illness. Now, having a mental illness might cause you to act out in such a way that you seem like a bad person, but you can't blame everything on mental illness. AC should be on already. I'm in the basement. I don't need the AC on down here. Down here. She's over there counting backwards. Um, what's up, Rick? uh, oh, the phone is back working. Little baby, where you go? Oh, yeah, the phone is back working. But you got to keep the thing in, and you got to keep it. If it make that noise, you know it's not charging no more. Some psychologists said that most mass shooters are not mentally ill. I doubt that they are. I doubt that they are. There was. See, I just heard it. You got to do it because it's gonna die on you again. that that is me. Um, Thank you for saying that. Not all people with a mental illness are violent or dangerous. True. Very true. Very true. Um, Hold on. There was something else that I wanted to talk about, but I can't think of what it was. Oh, I saw where Mitch McConnell was saying the employee the worker shortage. He says the worker shortage is going to go away when everybody run out of their stimulus money. He said just people just got too much stimulus money, and that's the reason why there's a worker shortage. But as soon as the people run out of that stimulus money, Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell says the labor shortage will be solved when people run out of stimulus money because Americans are flush for the moment. Yeah. He says you got a whole lot of people sitting on the sidelines because, frankly, they're flush for the moment. What we've got to hope is once they run out of money, they'll start concluding it's better to work than not to work. So they are still blaming, because they say Republicans have long blamed the March 2021 stimulus rescue package of $1,400 for Americans for worsening inflation and help keeping people out of the workforce. I don't know that a stimulus, back in 2021 when they gave that $1,400. He think people still living off that $1,400, and then once they run out of that $1,400, then they'll come back to work. I often wonder, how do they not? I mean, I know how, because they're rich. But how do they not understand? They think $1,400 make you balling. Just because you get $1,400, you ain't balling. You can't live off of $1,400 for a year and a half. And I'm like, they are so out of touch with reality. So, oh, well, we don't need to increase the minimum wage because the minimum wage is great. And I'm like, no, it's not. Because that explains to you why they don't think that they need to increase the minimum wage, or why they don't think that, they need to set a living wage, because they believe $1,400 will last you for a year and a half and get you to the point where you don't have to work. because of the stimulus. And so that was a quote. Like that wasn't them. That was a direct quote. You got a whole lot of people sitting on the sidelines because, frankly, they're flush for the moment. What we've got to hope is once they run out of money, they'll start concluding it's better to work than not to work. Oh, these guys, they just, Jason said that $1,400 didn't last a month in my house. That's mortgage and Duke, no change. How out of touch do you have to be? Who the hell still got stimulus money? Has the unemployment extension ended? Yes. So that money been gone. Most working class people were behind before they got that little $1,400. $1,400 is a lot then, and it's a lot now. Lewis just be saying stuff just to say it. He be saying stuff just to say it, just to say that he said something different. He be saying stuff. Oh. Are companies laying off or instituting a hiring freeze? I imagine there are some companies laying off. I mean, I would imagine. But, everything that we hear is that there is a shortage of workers. Like I go to, I might go to a store or something like that, and they're like, we close early because we don't have enough workers to stay open. It happens all the time at restaurants. We close early or we don't have enough workers to stay open. So Cleopatra says, I was very grateful for that money. Real talk. And look, I'm not saying that, you weren't grateful for it, but that money wasn't going to last you a year and a half. Mitch McConnell still think people living off of $1,400 a year and a half later. Like, I ain't going to work. I had $1,400 a year and a half ago. I don't need to work for the next 3 years. Like, what is he thinking? Randall says, hiring freeze is moving in now, preparing for recession. Kenneth says he need cooks. And LaDonna says these people ain't hiring either. All right, y'all, I got to get out of here. I promised somebody that I would leave at around 2:30. But hold on 1 minute. These folks want to be paid $75 an hour to go back to work. I really believe, here's what people want to be paid a decent wage for the work that they do. A decent wage for the work that they do. And they want to be treated with decency, with respect. Give me some dignity. You know what I'm saying? People want that. So don't give me 6 people's jobs. Talk to me like you crazy. Don't show me any respect. Treat me like a piece of crap. And not want to pay me. And then think I'm going to be all right with that. And I'm going to come and work at your job, or I'm going to convince other people to work at your job, or I'm going to have a good attitude when I work at your job. That's not the way it works. That's not the way it works. Jeannie says married couples receive $6,400 total for those 3 stimulus checks. All right. Let's even assume that's true. You are not living off of $6,400 for a year and a half. You are not living off of 64. I know that's not what you're saying, but you're not living off of $6,400 for a year and a half. Why? It says people found other ways to make money, independent jobs like Uber, etc. And you know why? Number one, because they can make money. Number two, they their own boss to some degree. You know, you're never really your own boss. You know, you got goods and services, and the people kind of dictate certain things. So you're never really your own boss, but there's nobody hovering over them, talking to them crazy, treating them with no respect and all of that kind of stuff. Respect is a big deal to people. Paying them what they worth. And especially now, giving them the opportunity to be flexible with their schedule and all of that kind of stuff. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. All right, I do have to get out of here, but I wanted to ask a question. Anybody else tasted Wendy's strawberry frosty? I know that's way out of left field, but I had been meaning to taste it for a long time. I liked their vanilla frosty. I don't really do chocolate stuff like chocolate ice cream, chocolate cake. I'm not a big chocolate this guy. But everybody keep telling me that Wendy's strawberry frosty is not that good. I finally tried it. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad. I mean, you know, I do agree. What do you mean for a long time? It just came out. It's been out for a minute. It's been out for a minute. And no, I heard the little thing. It's a severe thunderstorm warning in the area. But I liked it. I would get it again. I wish that the strawberry flavor was more. I'm using visual terms, but I wish it was more vivid. I can't think of what the term would be for the flavor being more flavorful, maybe. I wish the strawberry flavor was more, but I thought it was decent. I thought it was decent. That stimulus money been gone. Walmart sold out of every TV they had, including the 70-inch. It was $12.99. You being a hater now. You're being a hater now. Have I ever dipped my fries into it? No. No, that sounds nasty to me. It was made with nut milk. It was not made with nut milk. You would rather see your strawberries? No. I ask before I get a strawberry something. I say, are there actual strawberries in it? And if they like, oh yeah, I'm like, I don't want it. Because I don't like it's a texture thing. When I'm eating my ice cream, I don't like feeling stuff in my mouth. No. Not at all. For what they charge, you might as well go to UDF. I don't really mess with UDF no more because since Carl passed away, I guess his sons, his family, whoever is running the company, they done messed up all kind of stuff with UDF. So I don't really trust anything else. The orange drink is nothing like it used to be. Like they just changed it out of nowhere. My guess is it's cheaper to make it like it tastes now than to make it good like it was before. So I don't mess with the orange drink no more. That homemade cookies and cream ice cream used to be delicious. You could find sometimes a whole Oreo cookie in there, a whole Oreo. You can't find it no more. You can't. Now it's like little crumbs, like just little crumbs of stuff. The ice cream don't taste the same. They done messed up a whole lot of stuff. I feel like going cheap. I feel like what they're doing is going cheap. So I don't even go there no more. I don't trust them. I don't mess with them. I don't mess with them. Nat says, I want to try the strawberry frosty. The flavor is not in your face, but it's okay. But it's okay. It's okay. Same with Frisch's. Went downhill after the father let the kids take over. I understand why they do that, but hold on, wouldn't that mess with your texture thing? Oreo cookies and ice cream? Now that's different because cookies is kind of crunchy. Like I can deal with some crunchy stuff, cookies in my ice cream, but fruit is not the same. It's a different texture. It's a different texture. He's serious about UDF. I am. I can't mess with them no more. When they messed up my cookies and cream, that was it. That was the last straw. Like they messed up the orange drink, and I was like, that's cool. That's cool. But when I tried the cookies and cream and that was messed up, I was done with them. Yeah, I'm serious about that. Those Oreo cookies taste like the store cookies. Yeah, I don't know what they are now. And they're not even big. Hold on. I was over there in Ohio and on the corner of Vernon and Martin Luther King, and they done tore down that UDF right there on that corner. I couldn't believe it. They did tear it down. You eat the cookies? Yes, I do. Cow milk is bad for your health, but this nut milk will get you right. If you say so, you can have all the nut milk you want. The strawberries and ice cream be slimy. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. I like their orange freeze, but it's been a minute since I had one. See, you got to go get one. I can almost guarantee you it changed. It changed. They looked at it and said, hey, look, this made us billionaires, but we can make more. This is what I was trying to explain to Wyatt the other day. This is what I was trying to explain to Wyatt the other day. People with a whole lot of money, sometimes they don't care. They just want to make a whole lot of more money. So they went in, they said, hey, we've become billionaires off of these formulas, these recipes, the way that we're doing this stuff.
Are you going upstairs now?
You busted me out. I tried to keep talking. Thought she wouldn't notice, but she noticed. Yeah, we going upstairs. Give me just a moment. But yeah, and then they looked at it and they like, but we can make more money. What if we don't use real Oreos or just use Oreo crumbles? Or that'd be cheaper than using all of those real Oreos. Yeah, that'll save us some money. Oh, what if we, instead of making the orange drink with some, then we can make it just water and, oh yeah, that'll save us some money. Like, they probably had somebody go out and say, well, in what way can we make everything cheaper? They had a company come in and do an audit, and they got them stuff, and then you can do this, and you can cut costs here, and you can cut costs there. And they thought, but it's gonna change. It's gonna change the flavor. It don't matter. It's a brand. UDF is a brand and they're used to it now, so they're gonna keep. Huh?
I don't like macaroni and cheese.
You want macaroni and cheese?
Yes.
All right. I'm gonna make you macaroni and cheese.
No, my mommy put some in the refrigerator, in your refrigerator, and Mama D's refrigerator.
Don't I have to make it though still?
Yeah.
Right, that's what I said. I'm gonna make some macaroni and cheese
I
in just a
know.
minute.
I know.
But yeah, they come up with the cheapest ways of doing stuff. Companies don't care, including oil companies, Wyatt. These companies don't care about you. They only care about making money. Case in point, Pinto. The Pinto. I said, hey, we got a problem with the Pinto. What's the problem? If it get hit in the back, that bad boy can explode and kill people. And instead of saying, they said, okay, well, what do we have to do to fix it? How much is it going to cost? They said it costs this much. They said, and how much will it cost if we just let people get blown up in the cars and pay off the families? Well, that'll cost less than fixing the problem. Then what? If that's cheaper, then what the heck? Let's just pay off the families of the people who get blown up in our cars that we could have fixed because it's cheaper. That's how these companies work, including Wyatt, the oil companies. They don't care about you. They only care about making money. They only care about making money. My 17 minutes is up, and she knows it's up.
I want my macaroni in a second.
All right. All right. We're going to get the macaroni. All right.
I want it in a second.
Well, it ain't going to be no second, but it'll be a moment. It'll be a moment. All right, y'all. I got to get ready to get out of here. Apparently, I got to go make somebody some macaroni and cheese. It ain't funny. But I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. I really do. I will see y'all a week from tomorrow. I'll be back on Thursday of next week. Y'all, you can't stop talking. She ain't starving. That's it. My time is up. Oh, I do have to say one last thing before I go. Happy belated birthday. And I meant to say it yesterday to my sister. Happy belated birthday to my sister. I ain't gonna tell you how old she is. I don't think she would mind, but you know, that ain't my business to be telling. But her birthday was yesterday. Happy belated birthday to her. And happy pre-birthday, I guess you would say if you're saying it early. To my daughter, whose birthday is tomorrow. Happy birthday, Imani. And I'm also not going to tell you how old she is. What you looking over here? What you looking over here for? Because you heard me say your mama name. So happy birthday to those two people. And again, for y'all, till next time, I'm out. Peace.